What's up, guys? It's Dave, Magic Customs. 15-minute tool review, or as close as we can get. This week, I got a good one. Our friends at Simder sent us their first AC/DC TIG welder. I said, if you're gonna send it all. And they did. Let's unbox it. I'm gonna show you what it comes with, show you what you need to get going, and we're gonna run it. Let's go. All right, guys, right off the rip, this is an AC/DC TIG welder. Now, things that you are going to need. Your favorite flavor of tungsten, you're gonna need. It comes with cups and collets and a torch, but you're gonna need tungsten. People are weird about tungsten. They like certain types, so there's so many. Just pick up what you like. This is a CK laser. This has been decent. I have a bunch of other ones. You're also gonna need a regulator, right? So I prefer, these are just cheapy regulators from Amazon, but this is the 2-gauge style. I'm gonna show it to you like this. I'll have a link in the description. These are fairly inexpensive. I like these way better over the floaty balls. I feel that the floaty balls kind of adjust themselves out of adjustment. I don't like that. So these have been pretty good, and these are inexpensive, and you can get them with or without a hose. This does come with the hose. So off the bat, these are things that you need to get going. The other thing you may want to consider is a pedal. This is a clicky button, and but it does work with a pedal. So the pedal is separate. I think it's worth the investment. I'll have all the pricing at the end, and I'll actually have a discount code for you guys. So let's just, let's read the box. It is multi-volt, so it's 110, 220. It is AC/DC. It will pulse, I know that. It also does stick. Almost every single welder nowadays does stick, guys. We're not testing stick in this episode. If you want a stick welder, go buy a stick welder. This is an AC/DC TIG. That's why you're gonna wanna buy it. What do we get in the box? Instructions, wonderful. Probably gonna need that. The obligatory hose. Oh yeah, this cable is a heavy cable. It's obviously metric, but it does have the heavy DIN, so it's the 3550 DIN. The clamp, let's see. Oh, the clamp is a really strong spring clamp. This cable is only 4 feet long though. I'd like to see a 10-footer, but when you're TIG welding, usually sitting, you're, at a workstation. I get the thought process there. It also comes with a 26 torch. Yep, it's a 26, right? So WP26 comes with cups, collets, the short and the long end. Hose is, let's see here, not super rigid. I like that. I do not like when they give you a 26 torch, which is a larger torch. Now you gotta remember, it's a 250 machine, so it's got the 26 torch. But a lot of the time, the whip is so impossibly stiff that it's laborious to keep it on your lap, or I keep mine on my lap or over my shoulder. It does have the on-off clicky button here, but we will run both the clicky button and the pedal. And that is 5-pin. And so is the foot pedal, I believe. Arc stinger is 6 feet, because I'm about 6 feet, and that's my wingspan. Let's see here. Nice heavy spring on that. That's good. Like I said, we're not testing that today because it's a TIG welder, and we're gonna make it act like it. What else is in here? Oh, 110, 220 adapter, 220, 221, whatever it takes. Roar. And here we have the unit itself. Let's get you off the stand. We'll walk around her. What do you got in the background? Slam 64 F100. Got videos if you want to watch that. Alright, on the front, pretty simple setup. Torch gas. This is your pin connector, so you're either going to use this with your clicky button, or you're going to use this with your pedal. And then it's positive and negative. Now, keep in mind, when you're TIG welding, your positive is your ground clamp. So let's walk around her a bit. Right off the rip, barb fitting. Well, we finally employed the blue hose. It's a barb fitting, which actually works out because the regulator out of the box comes barbed. So you can literally just go right from one to the other, and that's it. This bottle is loosely chained. If you guys are going to do any type of welding, chain your bottles up, because when the tops break off them, you'll know it, and so will your neighbor and probably the house past that too. So let's get this thing fired up and check the display out, and we're gonna hook up all the accoutrement and run it. All right, we got our TIG torch set up. Caveat, if you want to use 3/32 tungsten like I had, you just need a different collet. It doesn't come with that size, but it comes with every other size. You screw in your torch, you hook up your, this is technically your control for your torch, button, who's got the button? And then you're gonna put your ground into the part that's not the ground. Remember that, guys. If you're doing TIG welding, the majority of all of it, positive is your work clamp. That's why they don't call it a ground. This is set up 220 volt. We have gas going to it, about 20 cubic feet per hour. Let's fire it up, see what she looks like. Oh, very nice, very nice. That's a nice display. I don't think I want to get you guys any closer. So it's going to tell you it's hooked up to 220 because this has smart technology. This is inverter. This machine is very small. It's fairly heavy for its size. It is a 250 amp machine. Here's your control over here, so you can tell it DC TIG, stick, or AC TIG. Right here, you're going to tell it, do you want it to pulse on or off? 2T is if you pull the trigger and hold it down, it's going to weld. When you let off, it's going to stop. 4T is you're going to hit the button once, start welding, and then hit the button stop. And then it has a spot function, so you can set a timer for that. What you also have here is manual or synergic. So manual is you're going to set all the parameters yourself. Ramp up, ramp down, dips, the whole 9 yards in the pulse. If you hit synergic mode, it's going to help you. It's going to give you basic parameters at each amperage. And this is going to read in amps. I know a lot of guys were very concerned with some other machines that just give you volts because they're used to seeing amps. Simder understood that, and they're like, look, we're going to put the thing in amps. And you can do it from there. So as you press this multifunction button, it's going to go through the ramp settings up and down. That's cool. Let's see if we can do a manual. Yeah, you can do it manual too. Oh, you can do all of it in manual. Every single portion of it. We're going to put it on synergic. You know, I'm not a professional welder, I'm just a hobby welder like most of you guys. And we're going to put on DC TIG because we're going to start off doing some steel. Mild steel. I think that's what the majority of people are going to do with this. But if you're going to buy an AC machine, you could do aluminum, and we're going to do aluminum. So let's fire up some sheet metal and see what this clicky button's like. And then we're going to switch it over to the pedal and see how I like the pedal. Got this thing set at about 70 amps. This is just 16 gauge, something we had kicking around. I just cleaned up the scale on it. Obviously, TIG welding is about being clean, having clean material. Not so great if everything's filthy. Now, not that I'm giving TIG lessons. Wait until the gas flow stops, guys, before you pull away, because you will end up destroying whatever you're doing because it'll carbon up. It's a little hot. So now all we're going to do, using the button, right? Now keep in mind, this is 16 gauge. If you've welded before, you understand how easy it is to burn through 16 gauge. The arc stability on this is very good. I know that the GoPro does not do this justice, but that is a solid weld. And if you look at the back, full penetration, obviously it's just 16 gauge. I'm not worried about it making shapes, bending, or anything like that. We're just trying to show the functionality of the welder. I'm going to turn it up a bit, and then I'm going to turn it on pulse, and it's going to tick-tack, tick-tack, tick-tack. I'm not going to adjust the pulse. Let's just kind of leave it the way it is, and we'll see how it goes. And now what you're trying to do with the pulse is keep up the movement with the pulse. I'm not sure I'm going to be good at that, but here we go. No filler. That's no filler using the pulse feature. I think I would have slowed it down a smidge on the pulse because you can slow the pulse down, but look at that. That's a butter smooth on the pulse. Now granted, your hand speed is going to be indicative of, you know, what you're doing there. Now I'm warping the hell out of this, but that's not relevant to what we're doing. Fan just came on, if you guys heard it, because this is a thermostatically dependent fan. So I think what we're gonna do is I'm going to try spot function. So I'm gonna put it in manual mode, and I'm gonna put it in spot. So I should be able to hit it, hold it, and it should time and then stop. Tiny, tiny, tiny little spots on this, guys. Look at, I don't know, you can't see that. Look how tiny that is. I'm gonna take a picture of this with my phone and I'll put it into the video to show you how tiny those spots are. Now, you can elongate the time and you can dial it down, and you can obviously play with the amps. But mild steel, 16 gauge, awesome. Let's get something heavier and let's try to hook up that pedal. Got a couple pieces of scrap, just hit them with the flap wheel, give them the old cleanup. And here's what we're doing. So I got the pedal. This is just a tin box pedal. This is actually the same pedal that comes with the 4050 Pro. I've done a ton of videos on the 4050 Pro. It's missing the rheostat in the front because they know you don't need it. So you're gonna unplug, this is your torch connector for your button. And then you're gonna plug in your pedal. Now it is slotted, so you can only put it in one way, so you can't screw it up. And like I said, I never really tighten these, but I suppose if you move around a lot, you should. That's a very nicely laid out display, I really like that. So now right here, if you see this up here, it tells you it's hooked up to the pedal. So that's good, and then it has the arrow. So if my foot's on it, and I'm gonna press it, oh yeah, yeah, she's going. So now we got some thickened, she's thick. So I got 115 amps available to me. Now granted, this is thick material. We're gonna tack the corner on this side with the pedal. Pretty good. So now I'm just gonna try to run a bead, and I'm not gonna run a complete bead on this. Maybe we'll switch over to pulse, and I hope you guys can see this, and we'll start here and we'll just kind of work our way that way. Turn a little bit more, 125 amp. to turn pulse on, and I'm going to try my best to keep up with this thing. Just dragging it. Wow, that's impressive. So all I did was drag it. I didn't walk it at all, and all I did was drag the filler with it. And now the moment that at least I've been waiting for. I don't know about you guys. AC TIG. 175 amps. We're still on the pedal. You know, always give yourself more amps. Now, aluminum, what you're going to do is you're going to lean into it real hard, pedal in hard. It's going to heat soak, and you're going to let out as you go. It is harmonically very different. The buzz to it. Now, you can set all of your same parameters, so you can pulse it, you can off. It does all kinds of things. Got a little bit of a gap in there. I'm whipping you guys with the whip. Much better. It's got heat in it now, you know what I mean? Alright guys, that's the Simder TIG-250 AC. It is an AC-DC TIG welder. Also does stick, has manual and synergic mode. Does 2T, 4T, has spot. It does pulse. You can adjust all the parameters on the pulse. It is foot pedal compatible. So the way it comes out of the box, you got the clicky button on the torch. For an extra, I think it's like $100 you can get the pedal separate if you want to. But I would honestly suggest right now, this thing retails by itself without the pedal. I think it's $5.99. They're on sale for $4.39 on Simder's website. And if you use code DAVID at checkout, you're going to save even more money. What I would highly suggest, if you want to buy this package, I'm going to show you on my phone. For $5.99, you get, it's called the TIG-250 Luxury Package. You get everything on the screen here. And I'm going to read that off to you. It's going to be this TIG package with the torch, the TIG machine. You're also going to get welding gloves, a Simder auto darkening helmet, and you're going to get the pedal in a whole tray of consumables for it. So for $5.99, it's probably the better bet, like as far as value goes, because you do get the hood and you get the pedal, and if you use code DAVID at the end, you're going to save even more. So what do I think of this? She welds butter smooth. I do like Simder products. I have the 4050 Pro, I have the 5010 Pro, and I have every derivative of plasma cutter they have, because they make an inexpensive, good product. So I've had very good luck with these. They've been very reliable for me. This is easy to use. I think as far as, you know, a garage builder, I don't know how you could go wrong with a machine like this. If you wanted to get into TIG welding, you're like, I really want to do aluminum. Maybe you want to do charge piping for a turbo kit, or you're going to build aluminum trailers. I mean, this thing would be clutch. So guys, you watched me do it, and if I can weld with this thing, you can absolutely weld with this thing. So go get yourself a Simder TIG-250 AC, and thanks for watching.